Hi, I'm Debbie, and welcome to my channel, Divine Destiny with Debbie. Today, we're reading for January 16th through the 31st for my Scorpios. Hello, my Scorpios. How are you? Well, this is the end of January reading. I use 4 decks. I use my 2 Radley Valentine. One is my Angel Tarot cards. I get my message, my main message. Then I go to my John Holland Psychic Tarot and Oracle cards. Kind of fills in some gaps. I then go to my Osha Zen Tarot cards for kind of words of advice. And then I finish up with my 1 card from my Radley Valentine Archangel Power Tarot cards. Now, I have prayed, meditated, and infused the decks with Reiki energy, but remember, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate. Take what you like. Leave the rest, okay? Okay. So, January 20th, we go into Aquarius season. Also, the 24th is the new moon in Aquarius. Remember, full moon to new moon is the waning moon, and that's when we release. New moon to full moon is the waxing, and that's when we request. And the full moon, which is on the 10th of January, that's when we release, relinquish, and request. Okay, so I will be posting, articles as I come across them on my community page with YouTube or on my Facebook about, and talk about, just what the planetary aspects are going on at that time. Now, 3 cards are face down. The last one is reversed, which means a little stronger energy. Pay attention. I'm an intuitive channeler, so what that means is I open myself up to my higher power spirit and let whatever the words are come through. So let's see for my Scorpios what we have going on. 4 of water, water energy, your energy. It's also our Pisces and Cancer energy. It's fluid and it's emotional energy. And it's just kind of feeling like things aren't quite syncing up the way they need to sync up, okay? It's like things, it's like instead of it going like this, it's kind of like this. So with this, my Scorpios, it's kind of like you are being offered things and you're not necessarily, I would kind of say, I would kind of say, take the offer, because if you don't, whatever this is, if you don't work with what's being offered to you as it's offered, it's not going to be as pretty of a package in that last, if you kind of like nickel and dime them. So what could this be? Maybe a job is going to offer you a job package and it looks really, really good. And then you start tweaking and then you start asking for a little more and then they start taking back. Just really, really look at the package in itself. I'm never going to say not to ask for more. I'm not going to tell you not to do that. I've seen too many people settle on a salary that they could have gotten more for. I'm just saying be careful about whatever this is. Be careful about whatever it is you're negotiating, okay? So, 4 of water is missing an opportunity, discontentment, or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. Your next card here, the 5 of earth. Earth energy is Capricorn, which we are in right now until that 20th. It's also Taurus and Virgo. It is money energy. It's solid energy. It is, well, when I say solid energy, it could be money energy that's attached to a job. It could be attached to a home. It could be attached to family, somebody that you can actually touch. It is very concrete type of solid energy. 5s are about changes. There's changes in a money situation, okay? There's changes. Now, changes can be positive, it could be negative, it could be net neutral. But in this case, whatever this is that you're negotiating, be really careful about it. So if you're negotiating to buy a house, and this would be a really good example. This is just an example, but if you're negotiating to buy a house and you go in $50,000 too low, they may never want to talk to you again, okay? And you lose the house, okay? Now, I'm not going to tell you not to negotiate and not to work on it. I'm just saying that there's this thing about with this money that, in this case, there's some fears concerning this money. There's some worries concerning this money. Be aware of what you're doing and what you're negotiating, okay? Fear surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, uncertain self-employment. Your last card is reversed, the 10 of air. So whatever this negotiation is, you've got to be really, really careful with it, okay? You have to be very careful with whatever you are negotiating. But air energy, Aquarius. So this kind of tells me this will probably happen more that 20th through possibly even February 19th, because, when Aquarius leaves and goes into Pisces. But, probably in that 20th to 31st type of energy. This is, again, it's Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, thoughts, hearing news, just knowing, just kind of having, just knowing things too. Tens are transitioning. So be really careful with your negotiations, because it does then move on. Things that move on, and if this is a house you're trying to buy or trying to sell, you sell it, okay? Or you buy it, or it moves on, okay? Okay. And, or if this is a job that you're negotiating for, again, it works. Things work itself out. The end of a difficult situation, embrace the change and expect things to get better now, recovering from an addiction. So do you see how all three of those kind of work together with this? Yeah. Whatever this negotiation is, whatever this opportunity is, it starts a ball and chain, no. It starts a reaction. It starts a reaction, and you just gotta be careful with the negotiations. You don't want to push too hard. At the same time, I don't want you to accept less than what you should accept. Okay, okay, sure. John Holland, Psychic Tarot and Oracle cards. Let's go on. Okay, 2 cards have already fallen out. Let's go on to pull out the third card. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Clarification. Throat chakra, 5 again. So there's some sort of changes. Throat is, so from the heart to the crown, that's more your spiritual, or I should say more your supernatural type of energy sources. From the heart, yes, again, to the root, to the base is more your natural. Your throat is, what are you saying? What are you speaking out? Again, I really have that caution with the negotiation. Be careful about the negotiations. Be careful what you're speaking out, okay? Not to say not that you should just settle. I'm not saying to settle. I'm not saying, but I'm saying be careful with what you're speaking, what you're saying. Okay. Because the negotiations will work out. It's going to take a really light, it's going to take a really careful touch and careful words. Okay. Your next one is stand your ground. Okay. So there are things with this that, basically don't give up. Don't give up. But it is saying stand your ground with this. Again, be careful with it though. Does that make sense? I hope that does. But have some, be diplomatic. Have some diplomacy. Okay. Here we go. Reversed. It winds up great for you. 1, new beginning, triumphant success. It's on the 10 of air. Basically it ends, its situation, it works its way through. Whatever you've been negotiating for, it works out, and it works out for your good, for your betterment. That's good. I like that. So again, is this a job? What are you negotiating? Is this a house? Tell me, my Scorpios, what this might be. Okay, let's see. It's almost to, is this, what kind of contract is this? Are you negotiating a contract for work? Are you maybe you're the one that actually is the negotiator. Maybe your workplace is putting you out there to negotiate the contracts, and you just have to make sure that you Again, what is right is right. I'm not telling you to give in. I'm not telling you to give them, to give everything to the other person or I'm not saying that. Stand your ground, but I really feel you're going to have to be a diplomat. I think that's the best word when that came out. You're going to have to be a diplomat. You're going to have to be very diplomacy is going to be needed in whatever these negotiations are. Okay, 3 cards. My Osha Zen Tarot cards. 3 cards face down. Let's see what our first one is. Reversed. Abundance. It works its way through. You get what you need to get. So it does work. Again, just be real careful. Next card. Harmony. Remember, stay in sync. If they push, you don't push. You might have to, so if they push, you might have to back up a little bit and be ready for when you need to push. It doesn't mean, it doesn't mean giving them the farm. Okay? It doesn't mean that at all. Again, diplomacy. That keeps coming through my mind really quickly. That keeps coming through. And courage, because I do feel that this is one of those things that you're going to kind of feel like, oh my gosh, why don't they stop? But that's also, triumphant success. Stand your ground. Just be careful. And I know that those two sound counterproductive, but we'll have to just see what happens, my Scorpio. So my Radley Valentine Archangel Power Tarot cards. Let's go on in here one more time. And one card face down. It is reversed. Here we go. The 9 of Michael. Michael is air energy. We've talked about air energy. This is your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. Connect. Many times over, I'd go into meetings with particularly nasty-mouthed people, and I would always ask my angels, my higher power, to help me and protect me and give me the words. So I'm going to tell you to do the same, my Scorpios. So, my Scorpios, it's really good. It is a good reading. It's just you got to tread lightly. You got to be careful. You just have to be very, very diplomatic as you go through these negotiations. Whatever they are for, if it's a new job, if it's for a new home, if it's for anything that, if you're negotiating your company, a contract for your company, you just have to really be very diplomatic as you go through it. Okay? That's what I'm really picking up. So my Scorpios, if you enjoyed my reading, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell. But as always, my Scorpios, know that you are loved and be blessed. Bye-bye.